Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Governor of the State of California, the Honorable Arnold Schwarzenegger.
California.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Please sit down. Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here in San Francisco, and it's wonderful to be here with so many volunteers. It's such a privilege to welcome all of you here to the great state of California and to the National Conference on Volunteering and of Service. And of course, I love hanging out with volunteers just simply because in my last election in 2006, I happened to get 90% of the votes from volunteers. So just want you to know that's why I'm very happy with all of you. But the other 10% just never forgave me for my last movie, Hercules in New York. So I understand that too. But anyway, as you can imagine, I am very busy right now in Sacramento with the budget, and there's a lot of work going on over there, but there's nothing that could stop me from being here with all of you today. Service and volunteerism are that important to me, are that important to my family, and to the great state of California. I'm here, of course, for another reason, and that is to pump you up. To pump you up. I'm here to pump up your spirits because I believe in you and the amazing work that all of you do. And I believe that we are on the verge of a breakthrough in service all across this country, maybe even a revolution. We are at a unique time in history, and it is time to think big, to think outside the box, and to create big action. I'm happy to say that service is being elevated by our champions in the White House, the President and the First Lady. And so I want to take this opportunity and say thank you very much to Mrs. Obama for joining us here today in California. The First Lady was out there today working very hard, building a playground with Maria, our First Lady, and about 500 other volunteers. And the Obamas continue to set an example for the nation to prove that no family is too busy to serve. So let's give the First Family a big hand for their great support for volunteerism. I want you to know that you also have a champion in the state capitol right here in California. My wife, Maria, has been a big advocate for service and for volunteerism, and it worked tirelessly for the last 5 years. And she, of course, comes from a family of service, and she has carried on this tradition, and she has so much energy, and this, all she thinks about is that. And so I just love her and her work that she's doing for volunteers, so let's give her a big hand for the work that she is doing. And I issued a call to service at my inauguration. And I have worked to make sure that we make service and volunteerism part of everything that we do. I'm so proud of the groundbreaking California Volunteers website that my wife has created. Our goal was to make it easier for Californians to find service opportunities and to connect. And there, through this website, 45,000 opportunities are available for people that want to help and that want to serve. And I'm also very proud of our cabinet-level position on service and on volunteering. We are the first state in the union to have a cabinet-level position for that. And let me tell you that Karen Baker is making it a model for the rest of the nation. She's doing an outstanding job. Let's give her a big hand. And I'm very proud of all Californians who are serving, whether it is the military or whether it is in the Peace Corps, AmeriCorps, or a new volunteer disaster corps, and the list goes on and on and on. And today we are also awarding California's first medals for service to individuals and businesses that are leading the way and are proving that service is for everybody. As a matter of fact, they're sitting right here in front, and we're talking here about Tom Zimmerman and Ophelia Pascal and David Levinson. So let's give them a big hand right there in front. Let's give them a big hand for their great service. Now, volunteerism is a powerful force in our great state, and it is gaining strength all across the nation. There is a spirit, an energy around service like never before. We have the chance now to bring service to every home, to have a discussion at every dinner table, and to make a commitment by every individual. We have the chance to make it a part of who we are as Americans. Now, people will write about this time. History books will write about this time, about the first decade in the new millennium, when we were hit with the catastrophic economic downturn, the biggest recession since the Great Depression. What do we want them to say is the question. We want them to say that we united in service, that volunteers came together and mobilized to live the words of John F. Kennedy. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. I want the history books to say that America stepped up and took action. I want them to say that every American stepped up and took action. Hasn't that been the story of this great nation through every one of its chapters? I mean, the power and the spirit of volunteers and the power and the spirit of ordinary men and women coming together and serving has pulled our country through its darkest days. Fantastic nonprofits such as Volunteers of America have been doing this for more than 100 years. During the Great Depression, they mobilized volunteers to help the unemployed. And then during World War I and World War II, they provided food, housing, and childcare to help more than 2 million people across this great nation. We need them now. We need them now more than ever. We need the people to serve one another. I mean, think about the kind of situation that we're in. 1/3 of the world's wealth has vanished. Capital has evaporated. Governments must scale back. Governments don't have any more the money to provide all of those programs that they used to. As a matter of fact, in California, we have lost 27% of our revenues just this last year alone. But the needs for service do not go away. Children still need to learn, and streets still need to be safe. That's why we need every individual to lead a crusade, a tiny revolution to make a difference. Yes, millions of people are already helping, but millions more can join us. And I know all of you here today are just the people to mobilize them. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Good. Because you have the unique, innovative programs to match those in need with those who serve. And there are critical needs everywhere in this country. We need more doctors and nurses. We need more retired teachers and athletes. We need anyone with a heart to help and with the will to serve, because we need volunteers to fill that void. Volunteers are doing that right now through the Senior Corps, which is aiding American seniors in need. Volunteers right now are helping the unemployed find work at the one-stop centers all over the state of California. And volunteers right now are helping the homeless in Los Angeles, where a program called Chrysalis has changed more than 30,000 people's lives. That's exactly the kind of spirit and the kind of service that we need right now in this economic crisis. And when my time in office ends, I want to hand over a huge volunteer force that is ready and that is committed. Now, President Obama is calling this the summer of service. I think that's wonderful, and let's build on that. Let's take that spirit and carry it through this year and deep into the future. This is the time to act. This is the moment. We need our volunteers. We need them to step up, step up and fill that void. And you as leaders will blaze the path for them. And this is your moment too. Now, as you go forward, I want you to think about one word, and that is ask. The word ask. Because so many people are willing to serve, but they've never been asked. I remember the time when I first was asked. It was in the 70s when the University of Wisconsin called me and asked me to come up there and to help them with a research program to see what effect weight training will have on Special Olympians and people that are intellectually challenged. And I went up there and took on that challenge. And let me tell you, it was the most satisfying feeling I've ever had. And then right after that, again, I was asked to serve, but this time by my mother-in-law and by my father-in-law. I was a successful bodybuilder. I was a successful actor, and I made lots of money. But my father-in-law, Maria's father, Sergeant Schreiber, who started the Peace Corps, and legal aid to the poor, and the Job Corps, and all kinds of programs. He said to me, he says, "You have been very successful in so many things, Arnold. Why don't you try to be successful also in service?" Well, the next thing I know is that Maria's mother, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, who started the Special Olympics, she put me to work, and she made me the coach, the national coach, the powerlifting coach of the Special Olympians. The next thing I knew, I was the world coach for Special Olympians, and I was traveling around from country to country as the torchbearer and as the special ambassador to Special Olympics. And of course, one thing led to the next, and now I'm a full-time volunteer as governor of the great state of California. And I'm not taking any money. I'm not getting paid for that job. And I tell you, it's such a great pleasure to serve 38 million people in this state, even though it is the most challenging thing I've ever done, but it is also the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And it all started because I was asked. Now I ask each and every one of you to spread the ask. I'm asking you to ask others to serve, and together we will champion volunteerism. We will take service to a whole new level in our state and across this great nation. We can do this. We will do this, and we will do this together. So thank you very much. Thank you.